Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What is up? What is up? What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Once again, it is your man, Jelani JB Bodie, host of this thing called The Wait a Minute Show. And then we're back in the building today, right? And I'm saying we, but it's me, just me. M.E. Big Mo got the day off, man. Has some stuff that he needs to handle. Look, I'll hold it down until you get back. So, next episode, he'll be back, running the boards and everything. But right now I'm taking the reins and I'm taking over. So, roll with me here. So hopefully everybody, look, you had a great weekend. We got some playoff basketball to talk about. We got some, question I got. It's a question. It's just a question I'm going to ask. I'm going to give an answer. You may not like the answer. And trending topics, right? So we're going to touch on this Drake and Kendrick thing, right? Everybody's been talking about it. So I guess we're going to talk about it as well. But before we do all that, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on those notifications if you already are subscribed. We appreciate you for every bit of content that we put out there so you can catch it as we do this. So let's get into it and let's jump into the NBA playoffs, right? So now round 2 has officially begun. We are here. Well, actually, began over the weekend because Denver and Minnesota kick it off. But everybody's in round 2 now. Monday or Sunday. I'm tripping. Sunday, Cleveland Cavaliers took down the Orlando Magic in a game 7, which they were down by 18. So they finally put it together in the second half and got back into the game. And Donovan Mitchell was saying, hey, well, what happened this time? He said, I'm tired of losing, right? So they got a big challenge that's coming up to them, coming up in the Boston Celtics. We saw the Boston Celtics just dismantle the Miami Heat. Miami was missing, some players as well. So that assisted in it. But I think, more than anything that Boston was going to win that. But they go into this matchup now with a Cleveland team. I still got Boston making it to the finals, right? Still got Boston making it to the finals. So obviously I'm picking against the Cleveland Cavaliers. I just think they're going to have too much firepower where they had problems with Banchero for the Orlando Magic. You got Tatum, you got Brown. They're probably not going to have Porzingis at all for this round, or if they do, it probably later on in the round. But you got Holiday, you got Al Horford, we saw what Derek White just did. He put himself in the mix for a guy that you got to watch out for. So I just think there's just a lot of firepower, and I don't know, or I don't believe that Cleveland's going to be able to match up to that firepower. Donovan Mitchell, he'll be ready to play. Garland, all those boys will be ready to play. Hopefully they get Jarrett Allen back. But I'm going to say Boston, wins this. And I say this thing go 5 games, right? I know. But I just think Boston is on a mission right now. And they know they can't play any games with anybody, especially after seeing Porzingis get hurt. So you don't want to play any other, any additional games that you don't need to be playing in, and then someone gets hurt, right? I said this was the best round 1 matchup. Which was the New York Knicks versus the Philadelphia 76ers. So I'm looking at the second round. I won't say this is the best because there's another team that a matchup that I'm going to point out here. But give the Indiana Pacers credit for what they did. They did take advantage. I didn't think they were going to be able to take advantage of it. At times, it just seems like they were, kind of out of sorts. But they took care of business. But they're going to take on the New York Knicks, which I think the New York Knicks have found a identity, right? I think they were working, for the better part of the season after Julius Randle went down, kind of figuring out what they were going to do. And then in that first round, you kind of figure out how your rotations, what everybody's going to, do on that team. And the main thing, give the ball to Jalen Brunson. Give the ball to Jalen Brunson. Start there, go there second, go there third, and then, work it around to the other guys that's on this team. But I think this is really going to be a good matchup. I'm going to take the Knicks on this. And New York fans, New York, son, New York, they're going to be going crazy. They were already out celebrating like they had won the championship, getting out of the first round. So I said it before. I'll say it again. I know it's tough. Yeah, just dealing with them. But the NBA and playoff basketball is much better when the New York Knicks are in it and they are relevant, to it. So don't let the Knicks get to the Eastern Conference Final. Oh my God, it's going to be crazy, right? But jumping out of the East, let's go West real quick. The best matchup I think is going to be the Timberwolves versus the Nuggets. Timberwolves took that game one with Ant. Man, dropped 43. Look, this dude is a problem, man. This dude, this is what Minnesota's been. I was on the Minnesota train years ago, and I'm talking about like Jimmy Butler years ago, but they just couldn't put, things together. And the one thing I think that they were missing was that don't get me wrong, Jimmy is a dog, but that dog in Ant. And Ant is just a different type of dog, and it allows the other guys on that team to play roles instead of trying to play. He don't mind being the main attraction. He don't mind being the villain. He don't mind being the guy, on it. And it allows everybody else. But going up against the champs, this is tough. This is tough. And I still will roll with Denver, but I think 7 games. I think Minnesota takes them to the break, and then Denver will win in 7 games. What else we got? We got OKC versus Dallas, the Mavericks, right? So Kyrie, Luka, they did their thing in the first round. Now you get a matchup here where Dallas is kind of the veteran team, right? OKC is the young guys, if you will, or the pups, young pups, but they are, a serious problem. They finished first in the Western Conference, so I think this is probably going to be the second best matchup. So I'm going to say Denver and Minnesota won. This Luka and the Mavs against the OKC and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Hey, it's must-see TV. Kyrie Irving, let alone. So watch those 2 games. I do think, I think experience will win out here. I think the Mavs will beat OKC, but this will be a part of the process that I told you. I told people before that OKC was coming, and they're here, and all they're going to do, they're just a scary team right now. They're going to be even scarier come next year. But those are my my picks, for the second round, of the playoffs. So we'll be talking about that and more as we go through and get to the Eastern and Western Conference finals. So I want to stay here in the playoffs, though, in the playoff talk, but not matchups. I really want to ask the question. Playoffs look a little bit different, right? Right now, we don't have Steph. We don't have LeBron. We don't have KD. Have we reached the changing of the guard in the NBA? Have we gotten to that point? Is it here? Is it right here, right now upon us? Yes. Yes, it is. The changing of the guard, I sat here. Mo didn't want to hear it. I tried to talk to him about the Warriors, not making it. He didn't like to hear that. I talked about the Lakers, that it was going to be, a task trying to get past Denver. He didn't like that as well. He's probably going to, report this show at some point because he don't like what I'm saying because I'm right. I've been right, so far. And then you see Phoenix, the way that they exited out. And yes, this is a changing of the guard. And it's nothing wrong with it. If you look at KD, LeBron, and Steph, they were in the same boat or the same, situation, just like Shai, Jalen Brunson, Halliburton, Ant, all these guys, that are up and coming, right? You got to come and take it. And that's exactly what these young guys are doing. So the NBA is going to transfer over to these guys. Don't get mad. To me, that's why I think, this dream team or not. Let me take that back. I take that back. That's why I think this Olympic team is just like, look, let's do it one last time because that's going to be it, right? So Steph and all those, LeBron and KD and everything, they're going to go over to Paris. I wish I was going to Paris, but that's for a different day to talk about. But they're going to have one last hurrah together and everything. And this new wave is coming in. You already had, your Lukas, your Cats, and Jokic and everything. Cause they're still, in their primes, and everything. But you got this young batch that's coming up, and they don't care. They don't care, and they shouldn't care. So yes, it's a changing of the guard. It is going to be these guys league. You got Wembanyama and all these other guys that people are expecting, to take off as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just telling you now. Enjoy it. Enjoy next year. Enjoy next year. Enjoy whatever it is that you see next year, because it's going to look even more different after that. These young boys is on the way. They are here. They are hungry, and they're ready to take over the league and make it theirs, right? No different than what Steph did. No different than what KD did. No different than what LeBron did. And it was done before them. Jordan took it from Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. So it's part of the process when it comes to the NBA. But it's here. Change of the guard is here, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna get off that. Let's move into. I'm gonna go here really quick because people have been talking about it, and I'm not going to just go crazy. But Patrick Beverly, right? Patrick Beverly, things didn't work out in Milwaukee against the Pacers. They get eliminated. We already know about all of that. And the video obviously is going to pop up. You're not going to get away from throwing basketballs at people. And then also going into the locker room and then telling the reporter that you're not going to answer any questions because they don't subscribe to your podcast, right? Well, there's quite a few people that don't subscribe to my podcast, but if you haven't, subscribe right now. But I'm not going to tell somebody that I'm not going to talk to them or we can't have a discussion, off of that. And the sad part about this is that no one should ever do what Pat did. But you've been in the league for 12 years. I think they say 35 and everything. That's some 18-year-old, 19-year-old stuff. And it's still not, excusable, but that is some 18, 19-year-old type of stuff. You're throwing the ball at somebody, and it's a good thing that it didn't escalate. Didn't escalate even further because someone, look, could have been someone else, and they easily could have been like, I'm coming out of the stands, and he didn't do it not once, he did it twice. So here's what I'm going to say, on it is that it's inexcusable. There's no, I don't want to hear. I think he went on social media talking about he'll be better from. Well, yeah, be better. But we talking about right now, and I know they will not do this, but 30 games right now because you don't throw a ball, and I don't know what that person said, but it looks like you threw a ball and you hit the wrong person. So what if that had been a kid? I mean, it was a female. You definitely don't want to hit a female, but what if that's a kid? That's something that you just don't want on your record. 30 games is all I'm saying. 30 games. We ain't playing around. Ain't got time for all that. And talking about your podcast, ain't nobody got all time, time for that. There's plenty of other podcasts that's out there that people will go on then if you don't want anybody on your podcast. So just inexcusable. I can't even say, you learn from this because you already know not to do this. So maybe I'll get, maybe Pat Bev will see this and then he'll tell me that don't subscribe or don't watch him anymore either. I don't know. But Pat, we all know you're better. You should be better, but you're better than that, bro. So I don't even know if you can make it up, but just don't do that stuff no more. That's just crazy, right? Speaking of crazy, you know what's crazy? This Drake, Kendrick Lamar stuff, man. So it has been taking over, and I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to act like I'm some rap aficionado and I'm just like everything that I've heard. I'm like, oh my God, I just broke it down. No, I've had people, kind of explaining to me what's going on, with this. But what I do know is that it has taken over the music community, right? And it's, obviously Drake, Drake, Kendrick, and as I'm talking right now, Kendrick and Drake probably gonna drop another song. So we can, if I could, I would. I'll talk about that. But this, look, between these two, I do think like with a battle, there is no line. And obviously, if it was, they've stepped over both lines. But what I hope at the end of the day with this is that everybody gets some good music, and these brothers, after they're done, they go ahead, continue their careers and everything. Because I just don't think any rap battle should end in like it costing somebody's career. And I mean, unless they do something themselves and shoot themselves in the foot, that's different. But as far as like what someone says, and cost somebody their career. So we getting good music, enjoy it. I don't have, I'm not team Kendrick, I'm not team Drake or anything like that. I'm more of, hey, you know what? I got an idea who possibly could, win, but make good music. At some point when it's over, it's over. And then let's make sure that, we can reflect on this and say, you know what, that was a major battle, and whoever, won that rap beef. But it's crazy. They got everybody talking about it. They got people just doing content. You got all these interviews. It's May right now. Can this make it to June? Possibly. With everything that they're doing. So keep up the good music, gentlemen, and I will keep getting information fed to me about this. And I don't have any ghostwriters and all that stuff like they be alluding to. I don't have anybody that I'm leaking information from like they have said, but it is interesting. It's interesting. Hopefully this was interesting for you as well. I gotta get up out of here, but again, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications as well. I'll hit you back next week. Mo should be back, but he might not, because I might have said something here that he don't like, right? And then he might say, you know what, I'm gonna take another week. But everybody be good out there, man. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.